Terry, thank you. Joining us now, KLBK sports reporter Faith Douglas. Faith, what's going on in sports?
Well, we still have a lot of hoops going on. We had Big 12 play starting yesterday for both Texas Tech teams, and the LCU Chaps, both boys and girls, played today. We'll have a look at those highlights up next in sports.
KLBK Sports Connection.
Happy New Year's Day and welcome to your KLBK Sports Connection. There's still lots of hoops going on. Yesterday, Texas Tech men's basketball team hit the road for their first away game against the TCU Horned Frogs in their first Big 12 matchup for conference play. TCU took the win on this one, 61-67, giving Texas Tech their first conference loss. It was the back and forth game the whole night. Tech led by 11 at halftime, but it wasn't quite enough to combat TCU's Mike Miles, who had a game high of 23 points. It was a tough way to finish for Mark Adams.
We got to give them some credit, but then at the same time, you know, we've got to make sure we keep our composure and poise and you know, we just didn't execute. We didn't make free throws and didn't rebound the second half like we did the first half. So I thought the biggest overall difference was just they had a more their attitude was more competitive. They had more intensity on both ends of the floor the second half than we did.
The Lady Raiders also had their Big 12 opener yesterday against the Iowa State, and the Cyclones will take the victory on this one, 81-58. Texas Tech's Bree Amber Scott finished with 18 points yesterday. The Lady Raiders were never really counted out of this one, still fighting coming out after half, only down by 14 points, as Coach Krista Gerlich keeps her head up after their game.
I'm proud of our kids for fighting till the end. You know, I think that we had some adversity throughout the game, and I thought our kids held together and gave themselves a chance. It got away from us towards the end, obviously, but I thought that our kids did a pretty good job. You know, there's some things that we wanted to execute better that we did not do, but I thought for the most part our kids did some pretty good things. You know, the free throw line, obviously, we need to get there more and keep them off the free throw line. But it looks like, you know, to me that's the biggest glaring stat of the night.
Switching over to our other collegiate teams here in Lubbock, the Lubbock Christian Lady Chaps took on Midwestern State this afternoon and took the victory 74-63. Sophomore Grace Foster had her fifth double-double of the season today for the Lady Chaps with 27 points and 14 rebounds. Good grief. The Lady Chaps have now won 111 consecutive home games at the Rip Griffin Center, led by head coach Steve Gomez. Their next game is on Thursday in Odessa against UTPB at 5:15. Right after the Lady Raiders, the men's LCU hoops fell to MSU, losing by just 6 points, 71-65. Russell Harrison led the Chaps as high point today with 21 points, but it wasn't enough to combat the Mustangs' just under 60% shooting from the field today. The Chaps will also hit the road on Thursday, facing off with UTPB at 7:30 p.m.
This is KLBK's Kansas City Football Focus, sponsored by Nissan.
The Chiefs took on the Denver Broncos today at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, and they took the victory, but just by 3 points, 27-24. Though the Chiefs have already secured the AFC West, the Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson gave the Chiefs a run for their money today as he carried in 2 touchdowns himself. The Broncos have been averaging just over 15 points per game, but yet both times the Broncos have faced the Chiefs, they scored 28 and then today 24. Though defensively, the Chiefs' rookie Trent McDuffie, who was out earlier this season, raked in 7 tackles today. And another newbie to the NFL, George Karlaftis, had his 5th sack in 6 games today for the Chiefs. Kansas City took the dub in the end and will face off with the Las Vegas Raiders next week.
All right, Faith, thanks so much. Stay with us. We'll be right back.